Oh, lower your hand. Who else wants to show the project? And how many people here are, who have done the Scratch before and they're not totally new? Can you just
I have.
raise your hand?
I have.
You have, okay.
I have.
I have.
Okay. So yeah, I have many. So I should be seeing at least one or two. I want everybody to just show whether the project. So Leo, would you be willing to show your project? Uh, Leul. Am I pronouncing properly, Leul? Leul. How would you pronounce that?
Oh, I can't like mirror my screen for some reason.
Okay, but have you done? I'm hoping you have done the project though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. At least I want to see one more project so that people who are new in the class will get an idea.
I was in the class, like I wasn't in the class before this one. I missed it, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
We were in the previous class before we took a break.
Okay.
Yeah. And we
But-
weren't in the first class.
Okay. No, sorry about that. Yeah. So anyway, so that was the two projects that two presentations we saw today were pretty good. I was quite happy with them. What they did with that. Let's see. Now, let me, and since, and how many people, just raise your hand, how many people who are totally new to Scratch? There are a few who are totally new, right? Because I don't want to overbore people who are either completely new or people who are already a little advanced. Please raise hands for people who are totally new. So I just want to get an idea. Who have not done their Scratch before. Okay, I don't see any hands. So everybody has a good idea. So the next, there is a project I want to share next, which is, again, from now on, I think I'm going to go along the line that I'm going to share a project, which I'm going to do next. You guys copy the code for that project. I mean, it's a random project, which has lots of ideas in it. And what I want everybody to do is copy the project as is, and then you use those ideas to make a new project of your own. Just to start with, the way let me share my screen first. And there's a lot to be learned in this particular project. So this is the project I'm going to be sharing. And just to go over some of the minute details, this is a simple enough project. There is, by the way, even though a lot more character will appear, what I'm interested in, there's a character, there is a sprite called Earth, there's a sprite monkey, a kind of a space rock that's floating around, a star, a spaceship, a dancing girl, and we can ignore actually this one, the sprite cat. And if you want to add more characters, that's okay too. So there are, ignore this spaceship, but I'm not, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 characters there, or sprites, as we want to call them. And right now, the way this project works is there is a monkey, and with a space kind of suit, pseudo spacesuit, because just part of it just that goes around in a circle. There's a star that keeps growing big and small. There is a rock that just keeps, like an asteroid, keeps floating in the space, and every time it hits an edge, it turns around. And there is a girl that's continuously dancing in space. Don't ask me why. It's just to get you guys working on a project. And when I stop and start the project, and that's when the spaceship appears initially. So let me make this a little bigger so that everybody can see this more clearly. So at the beginning, when I start the project, there is a spaceship that appears and starts to go towards the Earth from this corner, and then as it goes towards the Earth, it becomes smaller. So it gives you the impression that it is going towards Earth. So there are lots of good ideas in this project, and that's what I want you to start with. So let me go back to the code, and you guys pick up the sprite. So let's start with the most simplest of the simpler of the code, and that's the Earth code. So I think you would have to pick up the background, which is the stars. So so what I would do is, for those of you who are forgotten, I would start a new project. And when you start a new project, you will get the sprite cat, which comes always. You would delete that first, the cat, by just going, for the cat, use the trash can and delete the cat first. And then you pick the background, and then you pick Earth. And then put the Earth in this corner, and whatever the coordinates of the Earth at that corner is, the X and Y coordinates, put into the go-to block over here, those two same numbers. So, and once everybody is done, please raise your hand so that I can then, move to the next character. So once everybody is done copying one character, we'll go to the next one. All right, so let's try to copy this code as soon as possible, so I can then move through the different characters.
Sir,
Yes.
I couldn't find the background.
You couldn't find the background. Let's have a look. Hold on. And it doesn't have to be exactly the same at times, but we'll try and see if what's the problem. Hold on, just a minute. I'm having.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on for a minute.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna unshare for a minute. Can you share your screen and let me see why wouldn't you be able to find your background? So
Sure.
go ahead and share your screen, please.
Where's my screen and share?
Okay.
And then I couldn't find the star.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, go. Well, that background will do for time being, but let's look, and that's perfectly fine, that background.
Okay.
Excuse me. Oh.
So can I leave it on this?
Yeah, you can leave that. That's fine. I mean,
Okay.
as long as something looks spacey enough, and that's a good okay background. And you can later try and look for the other one. So Earth is fine, but the Earth should be moved to the other side. So this is fine. Just other corner, and maybe you can, on the top corner. I mean, I think that's where it works the best, the effect.
Okay.
And so you got the you see now you got the coordinates for Earth at that point is 175 and 119. So you start exactly, and then you go motion block and go to, and you see that once you pull, there's right there at the top. Below that, go below one more, two, next one. So you see that once you move the Earth there, those numbers 175 and 119 automatically get updated here. So you can just put over there, and that's the earth block. You're done.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead and share. Thank you. So did everybody get that? So, is everybody done with the earth
Sir,
background? Yes.
when we were making, we had a class yesterday with another teacher, and we did this project. Some
you
of the
did?
people.
Yeah, we were just this project.
Oh, okay. I did not know. Was it?
But he
another
let us
class
do it
yesterday?
differently.
I wasn't aware of it. I'm sorry. That's why our work overlapped. But what I would say is that, go ahead and redo the So in your case, if you already have this, how many people, please raise your hand, how many people already have this project down? So there are 2, 3, okay, 3 people have already this project done as per handshake. What I would want you guys to do, people who have the project already, is to get these ideas from here. And I'm sure it may not be exactly the same. Is there the dancing girl in there in your project as well? It might be a little slightly different.
The other teacher, he let us to do the same things, except he let us pick whatever theme we wanted. Like it could be baseball team or a baseball
That's fine.
theme.
So what I want you to do is make a project using, so you have now 2 projects, right? This project and you have the project of the dragon, right? Combine those 2 ideas and make a new project.
We haven't done the dragon thing because we weren't in the class.
Okay, so the dragon thing I will share again after as soon as everybody is done with this. So you can then copy the dragon thing. Okay?
Okay.
So yeah, hang on and let others copy. And you start working on a project which the ideas you have from here, and then you can add some of the what do you call spices of the dragon project. So think of a story where there is a dragon and a spellmaster, so to speak, a sorcerer. Just think about the ideas and then some of the ideas from here, and come up with a story, sort of a mental story that you. And then once you have the tools from the dragon, then you can add those ideas together. So kind of make yourself mentally ready for making another theme, another story, and you can start out working on the project. And it would have to be totally independent, so don't worry what do you call it, that if it is totally new. I just want to use the ideas, so it may not have to be a star or a block, like rock or a monkey. So let's start a new project since you already have this, and we will once we end, I could see what you are working on then. All right?
Okay.
Okay, now is everybody done with the earth? I'm assuming it should be because it was the background earth and the earth project. So I'm moving to the monkey because by this time it was only 2 blocks. So let's do this quickly so that we can then come to the more important part, trying to make a new project out of this. And so that's the monkey for you. And again, the monkey may not be exactly the same. You might have a different monkey in these different kinds of sprites. So just to give people idea who don't remember, for picking up a new sprite, every time you go here and click that character, and it will open up all the characters that are there for you, and you type monkey. And in this case, I don't have that old monkey anymore. I have a different kind of monkey. So I get this monkey, I click that, and that would be set there. So I can go back to this. So I would get the monkey character, and then I can use this code. And you might also have to do, because see that there's a kind of a helmet. So you might have to go to the costume and draw this helmet. And actually, maybe it's not very clear, but there's a, you see that? That's helmet drawn in yellow around it. And in particularly used yellow for this background because it was darker, and yellow shows up very clearly in the dark. So I drew what do you call it? Kind of an oval shape, and you can use a circle, draw a circle anywhere you like. So that's how you can modify your sprite.
Sir, you're not sharing.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking without sharing. Let me repeat that again. I'm sorry about that. So for those who are new to this is how you would pick this new sprite, which is the monkey. All right. So you click that, and it opens up the choices of all the sprites. You type monkey here. Okay. Once you click at that, your monkey will be set. So I've already chosen, so I'm not going to click at that. And once you get to the monkey, one of the things you have to do is, see this monkey has kind of a circle. It's actually a yellow circle. It's not very clear. Is go to this costume, and there's a yellow circle around here, which is probably not very clear on the in the, what do you call it? Let me see if I can make it. Yes, see that? So that's the oval circle around monkey's head that looks like the the helmet for the so-called space monkey. So you can draw that and go back to the code. And one thing, there's something important which is missing in the code. Can anybody tell me what is something important that's missing in the code that you think should be there? Anybody, any ideas as to what do you think is missing in the code? Anybody that you think should be there and it's not here in this case? Any ideas, anyone? This code has something that should be there. It's not there, but should have been there. What do you think it is that it should be there?
Sir, I think I found the answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait like a few seconds.
That is true, but there's something more basic than that. Just something very, very basic. You see, let me give you a hint, because sometimes it's important, and in this particular case, even though it works, strictly speaking, I should have where the location the monkey is, right? I have no block that defines the location of the monkey.
Oh yeah.
So I should strictly, and just to make sure that every time it works perfectly, is go to the go to block, and this position is -156.79. That's what it is. I should actually put that over here just to ground this completely, so that even if I accidentally pull the monkey somewhere, when I stop and start, it will go exactly at the beginning. Okay, so the things like that you should pay attention to. that when you start, everything should start from the right location. And please raise your hand as you finish copying this monkey code so that we can move to the next one. And thank you, Lil. Thank you. Ignore my ringing phone, please. Now keep your hands up, and people, until I get everybody's hand, then I can move to the next one. And if anybody is having any problem, let us know right away, because I don't want to waste too much time just copying. One of the things that I do want you to think about, and I think I did talk about last time, in situations like this is on your off time, try to figure out and learn and write it down, because you'll be using a lot of it, and sometimes you learn and then you forget, is how to take screenshots. That way you can ensure that, you know, even if you haven't been able to copy in the time we shared out, you have the screenshot. And I think we are recording this session. We started recording a bit late, so there would be a recording available of the session later on. So yeah, just as soon as you finish, keep your hands up and leave it up, so that I know that how many people have got it down before I move to the next character. So I have right now 3 people who have got it: Amin, Leol, and Lillian. And so the rest are, so about 4, 5, 6 people are still working on it. 4, 5, good.
Sir, how do you raise your hand?
If you go click your name, there is raise a lower hand, or
Oh, okay.
you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I still have 3, 4 people who are still working on it. This is a good, some of you have already done this, but this is a good, what I call assortments of bag of tricks. And it's simple enough that even people who are totally new to Scratch can follow easily. And people are a bit advanced, for them, of course, no problem. So I've got 2 more people, Naaman and Yafet. Naaman and Yafet, let me know when you think it's okay for me to move to the next, because everybody else is done and they're waiting. And while you're waiting, just keep thinking, what can you do with these characters? For your next project using this. Because the most important thing about here is to learn some tricks and how to use that trick. Thank you very much. We'll move to the next one. And we can go to this space bar. You can all lower your hand now. So now we get to the rock or asteroid. And as again before, once you complete this, raise your hand so I can see that you're done. Thank you, Sina, Lillian, Noel. Some people are pretty fine, they're very quick. So half the class has already finished taking this. And by all means, please spend some, some little time there. You can find lots of videos online as well. How to, take a screenshot, depending on computers. It's a little different for Windows computer and a little different for Mac. And just figure out how you can take a screenshot. So that way you at least have a screenshot saved away that you can refer to later on. We got 3 more people to go. Two more. One more. Okay, I have the quorum. Let's go to the star. Again, by the way, going back to this, where the location of the things are, even this code does not have, the location of the star at the beginning. So, even there, I could probably say the go-to location at the beginning and put that there. That grounds your code much better that way. And there's another problem with this code. I don't know if, let me see who can discover that later on. But first of all, this will, go ahead and copy the code first. But there is a problem with this code. And I'll see if anybody can figure that out. And the hint for the problem that I see is, notice the size of the star.
Sir, I think I know the problem with the star.
No, go ahead, tell me.
It it goes on and off like the star, like it goes from big size to small size.
Uh-huh.
Is that the problem?
That is, no, there's another problem, but that will contribute to it. Think about it, but yeah, you're on the right track. See, I mean, the code is written such that the star grows and then shrinks back. But because the way the code is, there's something not being done. So when you start and restart, stop, something happens. And that's what you're gonna be thinking about.
You don't is it that you don't have the original size written on it?
Exactly. That's important. So sometimes you see, because if you stop the code in the middle, and good thinking. If you look at the code, right, and if you stop the code randomly sometimes, so a star has grown to a certain size and may not have grown back. So this star might appear to be keep growing larger and larger. So yes, at the beginning, you would want to have the star go to its original size. And so you would go to the looks block and you have set size to 100% at the beginning. And that's what would reset its size every time you start. So yeah, because when you stop the code and if you start several times, especially, the star will appear to keep growing and growing. So good thinking, good answer. Good to know that people are thinking about their code now. And you can set this size to be anything you like. I mean, I've set it 100%, whatever that is. And we can figure that out quickly. If I stop and then start, see, that's the star size originally at 100%. And because I had done this stop and start many times, that star kept growing. I was taking most of the space here. Okay? So that was a good answer. Very good observation. Last two to go. After this, I will I'll go to the ballerina girl code because that's simple, and then we'll go to visit rocket ship at the end. There's a little problem with rocket ship the way it is, and we'll address that there. Last one. Naheem, hurry up. Come on, Naheem, everybody's waiting. Come on. Naheem, are you having any problem or you're okay? Naheem, are you almost done?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should raise your hand up. Okay, let's move to the dancing girl or the ballerina. So this is a straightforward code. Nahiman, put your hands up once you're done with the code. Okay, thank you. Now the rocket ship. So once you pick up the rocket ship, now notice one thing that I would want you to pay attention to. That if you look at the costume of the rocket ship, all my rocket ships are horizontal. For example, the costumes. There are 6 costumes in my case. You might have differently. But yours might be, all this costume would be upright. Is that right? Am I correct? And the way to make, because of the direction involved in this project, we would like all the rocket ship to be, horizontally facing like that. And the thing to, what do you call it? Change the direction. For those of you who are not sure how to change the direction from vertical to horizontal, is you click, you open the costume for each one of them. So you would have to do individually for each one of them. So let me start with number 1, for example. You go to number 1, you click, you'll see that costume, and then you click the pointer key. You place that at one end of the canvas where it's drawn. Click and keep your click button down, and you pull it all the way to the other end of the screen, and you will see a square around. It's very dim. You may not be able to see it here, but there's a square surrounding this. And then once I am at the very end, at the bottom here, I let go my click button, and then I see this square, all right, with dots. And here on the bottom, there is one little handle coming out with arrow pointing 2 ways. And this is what I can use to turn this picture, the whole picture, any way I like. And so I would like to have them horizontally, and I'll leave it as that. So if you have the pictures are vertical, you got to make them horizontal. So having said that, let me go to the code, and you would have to do that for each one of the sprites if you're going to use all of the sprites for this. So here's the code for those who haven't got it. So some had got it from yesterday's class. So 4 people already done without me showing the code because they had it from yesterday. Wonderful.
Sir,
Yes.
mine is not moving. I touched the arrow, but it's not moving.
So you got to wiggle with it. So touch the arrow and hold your, what do you call it, mouse down, the right click, and try to move around. You'll get it ultimately. As long as you get that, what do you call it, the blue what do you call it, rectangle around the thing, and with this 2-sided arrows right at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that, then you will be able to finally figure that out. You'll have to play around with it. And once everybody is done with the code, I'll show again one more time. Yeah, it's not, first time it's not easy, but you can get the hang of it after a couple of tries. So go ahead, first copy the code, and we'll readdress that problem again. Because I do realize that this is, yeah, I want to make sure that, it's already 9 o'clock, and since we started today a bit late, so I'm going to give another 5-10 minutes because to make up for the last time. everybody had problem logging in, including myself, with the new link. So we still have, 8 more minutes. It's 9:02 in according to my time here. So I'll go for another 8 minutes and to catch up on the time lost at the beginning. And making sure that we all have the code at least, so that you can, between now and the next class, you can work on your different project. People who are good with drawing skills can change, attempt and change a lot on the code, costume of the code. So you can make a lot of improvement there. Last two, Chris and Nathan. Yeah, first finish the code first, and then we'll quickly discuss about the costumes. People who have already copied, quick remark for them who already finished copying the code. Do you all have this rocket ship in a horizontal position? Make sure that each one of these costumes are horizontal. Chris and Heyman, let me know when you're done so we can go and discuss about changing the costume once again.
This is Chris. Something happened to my computer, so you could go on without me.
Okay. Hopefully you will get this information from some of your friends so that later on. Thanks for letting me know, Chris. Okay, so just, going back to the costumes. Thanks everybody. So let me ask this before I proceed. How many people? Everybody, put your hands down and only raise if you are having problem with making the rocket horizontal. And you see, particularly this rocket ship has the rocket ship, and then there are these two, the flame, the projection, and the three smoke points, or so to speak, smoke. Okay? Thanks, Yafet. Hopefully this will help. So when we turn the rocket ship, we want to make sure it's not just the rocket ship alone. All of this thing is captured, which is that everything is moved along, all the smoke, that there's a point here, there, and there. The three smokes are also being transferred, okay, rotated. And the best way to do that, as I said initially, and I'm repeating again, you go to the one corner here, click, hold your button down, and you go to the other end of, opposite end of the, what you call canvas or square. Once you do that, I get to the other side there, you let go of the right click button, and this square that appears or rectangle that appears, this takes into account all that is drawn on this surface. And then I go to this spot which is here. When your hand opens up, all right, right where the arrows are in 2 directions, I click that. Once you click that, this rectangle will disappear. The rectangle disappear. And now, while keeping the button down, I can rotate this any way I like, and all things will be rotated. Okay? So I make it horizontal because that's what I want ultimately. Once it's horizontal, to my best understanding, I let go of the click button and it will be set. Is anybody still, what do you call it? Does anybody still have a problem with that? Let me know. So I would go through each one of these, what do you call it, costumes, and I will make them all horizontal. I've already done that, but we want these costumes to be horizontal. And that has to do with the way the direction is determined of the rocket. Because when we say, once you, things are horizontal, if you go back to the code, you see at the, in the code for the rocket ship, sorry, code, clicking it out, so point in the direction 0. When you say point in the direction 0, and when the rocket ships are horizontal, so it points upwards correctly. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then the rocket ship will appear to move sideways. And that's why we need to change the orientation of the rocket ship for each one of them. Now that everybody's got all the codes, and I think everybody understands what, I don't have to explain the code. You guys, most of you are pretty advanced, so you understand each code does. The most important part is what the code does. And so now based on these tricks, you can now, what do you call, make up a new project. And for those of you who did not get the sorcerer code, I'm going to share that. I'll stay longer for you guys, and people who missed out on the sorcerer code, I will share that at this point. But the rest of you can, you know, who have both the codes, for next week, try to think of a project as a storyline, and it may not have to do anything with the space and the earth and the rock and the monkey, and make your own project using some of this trick. And if possible, more of this trick. Means every one of these codes and ideas that you've. And I was, you know, the first presenter, I forget the name, from the last week's project. That was a very good thing, because she took the project and made it a little bit more than what I had given, and that was good. And that's what I'm expecting for next week's project. Others can, at this point, I mean, we can end the class. The others can leave. How many people would we want to copy, stay back and want to copy the sorcerer code? If I'm gonna switch to a sorcerer code, and people who want to leave can leave at this point. Officially, the class is ending. It's just for those people who still need the sorcerer code. So let me go back to my, so general, now, before you go, I forget the most important part, is you need to save your work. So save to your computer, where you click that, this dialog appears, and you write the name of your project and press save. Otherwise, yes, all that what you have done would not be saved. So please, always at the end, save your project. I'm gonna load the other one, load from your computer. That's what I would do. And I'll look for the project where we have the sorcerer. Withered spells, I think that's the one. So when you switch from one project to this, it gives you replace the content of the current, and I say yes. Okay. And those who are new, have not copied this project before, here are different parts of it. So notice that there are, is there more? I don't remember. Yeah, there's one more. I just want to bring all the code together so you don't have to go to, I don't have to roll that up and down all the time. Okay, I think I got all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got all of them together. So you have 3 sprites, the dragon, and of course, this dragon that I have was not, you guys could not find, so you use another dragon. There was a sorcerer girl, a wizard, in my case, and then there is a third, what do you call it, sprite, which is actually these yellow writings. Okay, so go ahead and copy this. And as we've been doing, just put your hands up once you're done with this so I can move to the next one. Simple enough, code. So just as soon as you're done, raise your hand. So basically, you'll have to look for the background through here, and then all your sprites through here. And it may not have to be the same thing. So you could take your own backgrounds and things like that. Thank you, Benel. Sheena, good. Yafet, good. All right, so let's move to the wizard code. Let me pull that up. Let me try to pull that one here. Is there any more? Nope. Raise hand once you're done. Thank you, Sina. While you're copying, can anybody sort of tell me an idea that they already have as to what sort of project or the storyline they're thinking of for your new project, where you will be using all of these, what do you call it, tricks or code that we've shared? All right, so everybody got down. The last sprite, which is basically has no code to it, and all there is a blank screen with what is written here in the corner right here top. That's what it is written here, but probably it's difficult to read because it's written in yellow. So it's basically this thing: press 1, 2, 3 for spells, space key for reset. So that's what's written here. So what you would do generally to create that is you would square that and you, what do you call it, press that one and you can start typing. So that's how you fill that up. Okay, and then you can choose the color of your font by changing this. So that's how you change the color of your font. All right.
How do we find like the sprite that says instructions?
So basically, that's a made-up sprite. Generally, what you would do is, like for example, this is a blank sprite. It's a made-up sprite. So you won't be able to find. What you do generally is let's just say, let me go back to this one. You have the sorcerer, right? You have two of these, right? You don't have that. I go here, for example. Sorry, I go here and pick paintbrush. Okay, so there I go to the paintbrush. That opens up a blank sprite. Okay.
Okay.
And then once the blank sprite is open, I click onto that one, and I can basically, go to the costume and type it here. Okay. So yeah, that is basically as a
Okay.
blank screen, and you go to the letter, put your cursor anywhere, and start typing these words, and you can choose the color of your font and type it out. Does that make
Yeah,
understandable?
yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, good. So if you're done, think of your next project where you use all these ideas you've learned, and of course, again, repeat again, because a lot of people lose their project. At the end, before you switch off, go to the file, load to your computer, name the project. So you don't have all this code that you just copied lost. Okay? You can ask any question you have, otherwise the class is done. I will stay and answer any questions that you have.
Okay, thank you.
Danielle and Sina, I think you've copied. And if you have no more further questions, you can leave.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Bye.
time, sir.
All right. And be safe, and just keep up the good work. By the way, if you're still here, have the classes started already in schools? Yafet, any question, or you're still just hanging out like that? Otherwise, I'm gonna disconnect. Thank you, Yafet. So have a good one. We'll see you next week, and keep working, and